Imagine trying to run a global business in the 1930s. Without computers or copiers, an open-plan office was a sea of clerks physically writing and handling thousands of legal briefs, contracts, and financial ledgers by hand. To make 5 copies of a 50-page document, a worker had to sandwich sheets of messy carbon paper between blank pages and type the entire thing from scratch. Make a single mistake, you tear it all out and start over. There were alternatives, like the mimeograph machine, but they required highly specialized stencils, messy wet ink, and tedious manual cranking, making them totally impractical for quick duplication. The spread of human knowledge and commerce was strictly bottlenecked by the agonizingly slow speed of human hands. Enter Chester Carlson. He was working as a patent clerk in New York, and his desk was constantly drowning in requests for duplicate patent drawings. For Carlson, the repetitive task of manual transcription was a source of sharpening, chronic pain in his joints. Every page he was forced to copy by hand aggravated his severe arthritis. Seeking relief, he spent his evenings scouring scientific journals at the public library. He began looking for a method to copy documents using light and static electricity, bypassing the wet chemical baths used in traditional photography. This billion-dollar empire traces its roots back to a single clerk trying to escape his own physical limitations. By October 22, 1938, Carlson and his assistant, Otto Kornei, were working out of a makeshift laboratory. It was actually a converted kitchen located about a bar in Astoria, Queens, reeking of frying oil and burning chemicals. This diagram illustrates exactly how they pulled off their first copy. First, they took a zinc plate coated in sulfur. Kornei rubbed it with a cotton handkerchief, which built up a uniform negative electrostatic charge across the surface. Next, they placed a glass slide with thick India ink text over the plate and shined a blindingly bright light onto it. The light erased the electrical charge everywhere except underneath the dark ink. They had created a latent, invisible, electrically charged image. To make that invisible charge visible, they sprinkled the plate with lycopodium powder, which is actually made from club moss spores. The tiny particles physically stuck to the remaining electrical charge. Finally, they pressed a piece of wax paper onto the powder and apply heat to melt the image into place. The letters transferred perfectly, reading 10-22-38 Astoria. This manual kitchen experiment proved it was possible to duplicate text using static electricity instead of liquid chemicals. Dry writing was a reality. You might assume the business world immediately backed him. They didn't. Carlson pitched his working prototype to over 20 major corporations, and every single one rejected it. That list of rejections included some of the most powerful technology companies on the planet, including General Electric and IBM. These executives saw a process that required too many smelly, precise, manual steps. To them, the commercial applications seemed too vague to be profitable. The world's largest tech companies walked away from a billion-dollar empire because they couldn't look past a messy prototype. Eventually, a small photographic paper business from Rochester, New York, called the Hallowed Company, stepped in. They took a massive financial gamble to acquire and refine Carlson's technology. They coined the term xerography, derived from the Greek words for dry and writing, and eventually rebranded their entire company to Xerox. In 1959, they launched their flagship machine, the Xerox 914. The 914 consolidated Carlson's messy, multi-step sequence into an automated push-button box. Anyone could walk up, press a button, and get a copy in seconds. By sealing Carlson's complicated chemical process inside a heavy steel cabinet, the 914 turned a room-sized scientific challenge into a single green button. But their new push-button copier created an unexpected problem. When Xerox aired a television commercial showing a little girl easily making copies, viewers complained to the Federal Trade Commission, explicitly accusing the company of faking the incredible speed of the machine. Facing an FTC investigation, Xerox responded with a completely straight face. They filmed a new commercial featuring a live, trained chimpanzee named Sam, who bounced over office chairs, pressed the buttons, and successfully copied a document, proving the machine's simplicity was not a hoax. The stunt worked perfectly. The subsequent sales boom skyrocketed Xerox's revenue to $60 million by 1961. Chester Carlson's workaround for his own arthritic pain eventually ended the era of retyping. Today, his legacy means the worst part of office duplication is a simple paper jam.